Welcome to the depths of Agrabah's dungeons. So yeah, once again we got another interesting level where they took a lot of license and added a lot of character. Here you can see a nod to Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, it's a really interesting level. They took a lot of inspiration from a lot of different sources. Here you can see a sort of almost Mega Man-esque. Oh lord, I hate those enemies. I'll explain those in a bit. But yeah, you can see an almost Mega Man-esque disappearing block thing going on here. The only problem with these is that they have a pretty small hit detection on them. So you actually have to be pretty much right on whenever you jump on top of one of these things. But not that bad. Once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. We have a nice version of Arabian Nights playing in the background. Pretty solid version. I actually like it a lot. Good old Sebastian the Crab nailed to the wall. Just love the little subtle jokes they put in everything. Personally, I actually really enjoy this level. The art style is really what carries it on for me. It's kind of sad to see that in later levels they sort of lose a lot of this, but they did a good job here. These little cannonball on chain things are really easy to dodge, and they have a long point where you can actually get by. Now you'll see these skeleton enemies everywhere. They sort of pick up a bomb and try to put it on their head. Once they realize that that thing is a bomb, they'll sort of have this giant expression of surprise, and then they'll explode, and those bones go fucking everywhere. They're really difficult to deal with. Love the little Mouseketeer ears on one of the skeletons, too. Really love sticking those ears everywhere. The downside of this level for me is the bats. There are bats effing everywhere, and they're going to be in the next few levels, and holy god, bats just never, ever, ever are a fun thing in video games. I don't know who first thought of putting a bat in a video game, but they need to die. Down there's a bunch of apples, and it's not really worth going through. Goddamn bats! So as we get further into this level, you're going to see that there's a lot more specific platform jumping here. There's a good example of missing it. It's actually really easy to do. Like I said, if you don't land perfectly on the left side of these blocks, you're going to slip right through it, even though it looks like you should be landing on it. Not really sure where the hell this is going. Whatever. We don't need it. Now the downside to this is the fact you'll see your sword actually hits the walls. This happens in a lot of areas, and oh god. And that's the death animation. You start back at any of these little genie pots you've hit throughout the level, and they serve as checkpoints. But yeah, you can see the difficulty in this. A lot of the time it's best to just use apples, because your sword's gonna hit the walls, and holy crap, it just sucks. Oh god, skeleton. Oh, cool. Didn't know that. Apparently you can just walk off the side of the screen and the skeleton sort of... that was a little late. But if you walk away from the... you get the sprite off the screen, it looks like it does reset his animation, which is nice to know. This giant pole being in the way is not really a cool thing to do. And I don't think you even need this top piece here. You can probably just jump right across. Like... tell me I do it. There we go. Problem with so many objects in the foreground... oh god, bones. The problem with so many objects in the foreground is that it's difficult to tell what the hell is foreground and what's not. You can spend a lot of time just sort of running into walls, hoping that you can get past it. Goddamn bats. That is an unnecessary amount of spikes. And I'm pretty certain the only thing that does is give you some apples or something. Oh, looks like it's a heart. Well, we'll take that. That's worth it. So here, I believe this may be one of the final ones, but this is one hell of a series of jumps. Thankfully, they give you a little bit of rest up here, and they have multiple blocks that sort of are just right in between each other, so if you do end up falling through one, thankfully it's not as bad as it could be. Which I suppose isn't really a good thing, but, you know. Oh god. At least there's stuff to fall onto or grab if you end up falling. Unfortunately, you can't make that jump without using that little block. Then they do this to you, because they're jerks. And that's pretty much it. A lot more difficult than just kicking open the block door that they do in the movie. Just pushes it aside with a cane. Way to taunt me. God damn you, Jafar! Is it just me, or does "I will show you the way to the Cave of Wonders" sound like sexual innuendo? Get your fat ass into the Cave of Wonders. Holy God! My nightmares were real! Anyway, next time we have the Cave of Wonders. It's wonderful.